your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show, always helping you win in any marketplace. That is our goal. We got a great lineup for you today. We're going to talk some alternative investment opportunities. We've got Shane Socash back on the program here coming up. David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin. We always enjoy that conversation. We got Dr. John Bunnell as well. He's going to be on the program. Gulfside Healthcare Services, talking about hospice and all that Gulfside has to offer. And also Jennie Restrepo in studio, Insured TItle Agency here in studio. We're going to talk about what to look out for, protecting your assets, protecting you against fraud and some of these other types of fraudulent activities happening in the real estate industry, the mortgage, the title industry. So Jennie Restrepo coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick shout out to Discovery Golf Cars. Say hello to Ethan over at Discovery Golf Cars. Make sure you let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. You can take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and find them online, discoverygolfcars.com. And as a top 100 ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, we like to feature our real estate listings live on air on the program, 80 outlets worldwide, thousands of listeners every day to maximize the exposure, maximize the profit on the sale of your real estate listing. So we've got a hot property here at 14626 Loredon Drive. This is in Seminole, Pinellas County, a beautiful property. This is $1 million listing of ours right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 14626 Loredon Drive, number 14. It's on the cul-de-sac. It's on the peninsula. It's looking over the intercoastal waterways. And if you're a boater, you've got your own private boat dock, bay access. You're boating to the beaches in literally 4 to 5 minutes, and all of the best restaurants and 180-degree views of the intercoastal waterways. You got a heated pool, tennis courts as well. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
And we always like to start our program off with a bit of encouragement. Today, I wanted to talk about one of the images, or how to develop a healthy self-image. So here's a quote from Genesis 1:27. And so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. So that's Genesis 1:27, develop a healthy self-image. So much of the challenges that you're finding today as well, even with kids and social media, some of the teenagers, is that self-image, right? So they're looking at Instagram, they're scrolling through their feeds, and they're wondering, wow, I wonder if I compare to this person or that person. So that needs to be an internal focus. That doesn't need to be something that you look externally for. So focus on the things that you can control. Focus on skills, developing your skill set. By the way, that's the one constant thing that you can control is the way that's one of the constant things you control, but it's the one sustainable business advantage is developing your skill set. Right. So we got a lot of classes coming up with Keller Williams, Insured Title. We're doing a class coming up as well. So developing a skill set, growing your skill set, skilling up, and continue to create a difference between you and that other competitor. Right. So the self-image is key. It's crucial. It's biblical. And notice that in male and female, he created them. And it's, that's a kind of a talk about the swimming stuff going on these days. We'll leave it at that. But visit the website, consumerqb.com. Reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Just call or text that hotline if you'd like to know more about our classes coming up. We're teaching Win with Sellers class. We've got an awesome event coming up with Jennie and her team as well for real estate agents and business owners. I think we'll include others too. So I'll let Jennie talk about that here in a moment. But reach out to the hotline. We'd love to connect with you. We want to put you in touch with our 80 different categories of consumer advocates here in Tampa Bay. 813-917-1894. All you have to do is call or text that number. Let's say you need a CPA referral. I got you. Let's say you need an attorney. All types, immigration law, family law, elder law, criminal defense, all types of attorneys. We've got them here, and they're associated with the Salem Media family, and they're going to take great care of you. So reach out to the hotline. Home services of all types, tech experts. We've got Nate Ginter coming on our show tomorrow. He's always a fun time, a great interview. Reach out to the hotline, consumerqb.com as well. All right, Jennie Restrepo is in the house here. So Insured TItle Agency, and we wanted to talk about fraud today, some of the things to look out for, wire fraud, and then we got that cool class that we're putting together, kind of help people skill up and grow that education.
Absolutely. So Unfortunately, fraud is still a big issue in our area, in our market, and there's ways that you can protect yourself, and one of those is by being your own advocate and knowing what to look for.
Okay.
Whether you're buying a property, selling a property, especially if you're thinking, oh, we don't need to work with a real estate agent, you really do need to make sure that you're protecting yourself. And so here's a couple of things. Wire fraud. Almost all of the time, to complete a purchase, you're either wiring funds in if you're buying, or you're having funds wired out if you're selling.
Right.
What should you do before sending a wire transaction? First of all, your real estate agent and anyone else involved in the transaction other than the title company should never, ever, 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 ever send you wiring instructions. So if you receive wiring instructions from anyone other than your title company, questions. Call that person on the phone. Do not respond in an email. Call them, talk to their voice, the person who you know you've been dealing with, and confirm. Did you send this to me? Why did you send this to me? Mm-hmm. Because what these criminals are doing is they are spoofing email addresses. So it looks like it's coming from your trusted real estate agent or your broker. It looks like it's coming from your mortgage broker, but in fact it's not. And down to the email address recipient could look so much the same, but it's .us instead of .com.
Right.
Such a simple thing. They're copying how the email signature looks. You can find images of people on the internet. If you're working with a great agent like Brandon Rhymes, his picture's everywhere. So, for someone to steal a picture of him from the internet and place it into an email signature, it's very simple for these criminals to do it. And it looks like it's coming from your trusted agent when in fact it's not. So your real estate agent, your mortgage lender, your inspection company, none of those parties should be sending you wiring instructions. Now the title company is going to be sending you wiring instructions. We try to send those via text message because it's more secure than an email. If you are being emailed wiring instructions, what you need to do is when you go to your bank, because you have to typically go in person to initiate a wire transfer, when you go to your bank, call the title company on the phone. Talk to the person who you've been working with throughout this entire transaction and ask them to read the numbers back to you and confirm that you have the 100% correct destination account number for this wire transaction. Because again, even title companies are having their email addresses spoofed and wrong information, and even one digit is changed. Like, these criminals are getting so smart that if you're just trying to, everybody's in a hurry. We want to get it closed.
That's
We want to move on. I want to move in. I want to move out. Of course, time is of the essence, but take that extra minute or two to check and double check. And I promise you that if you're calling Insured TItle Agency, we will never be frustrated or annoyed if you've called us more than once to confirm wiring instructions. Because we know this is a big amount of money, either that you're sending to us or we're sending to you. And so we want to ensure that it is correct. You're never bothering us by calling. Even if you call 2, 3, 4 times, that's fine. We want to ensure that when you're wiring these funds, it is going to the correct place.
Yeah, because we've seen situations where hundreds of thousands of dollars have been lost just by hitting the button at the wrong time, falling victim to these types of things. And that money, once it's sent, it's very difficult to receive if it can ever be received or returned.
There's ways to walk it back, but these criminals, again, they're so smart. They are waiting for the money, refreshing. And as soon as that money hits the account, they're pulling it.
Yeah.
And so if it's somebody that has a shell corporation, they have like a fake LLC, somehow, some way they're doing this and they're able to get the money out of the account in order for the financial institution and everyone else to walk it back. The saddest part is you're not closing that day. And are you going to get your money back? Maybe. But the when are you going to get your money back, if you're going to get your money back, that is the part where no one can afford that sort of heartbreak and heartache, because you were supposed to be moving into your new house that day, the next day. Seller was supposed to be moving out. So that's not a situation where you want to be in a hurry or skip a step. Wiring funds is serious business, and always check and double check and triple check that you're sending it to the correct account.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Jennie Restrepo here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Insured Title Agency here in Tampa Bay, insured_title.com, and a longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, does a lot of real estate closings for us and other folks out in the community for sell by owners. You can reach out to them directly.
Yes.
They will handle a lot of the process for you if you're trying to sell on your own. Insured Title Agency here in Tampa Bay. And yeah, so there's other things you can do too, as far as one of the biggest things right now is getting listings, pre-qualifying deals, getting the listing ready to go, and being a competitive, very competitive market right now. I mean, it's probably the hottest, most competitive market I've seen in terms of, we all know it's low inventory. So now that you have the low inventory, you've got for sale by owners and a lot of these iBuyers. Again, they're hedge fund buyers coming from New York and other places. They don't really care about you or your community. They're pulling that money, taking it out of state, and just not. The iBuyers are very deceiving. So just be careful with that. Just a quick tidbit on iBuyers and those cash buyers. A lot of times they put clauses in their contract where they're going to sign that contract. So they're signing a contract that they think, oh, wow, this person really likes the home, they're going to buy it. No, they're not. They're going to check that box that says assignable and flip that paper, in essence, flip that contract to somebody else. So there's a lot of other things to look at. But right now, one of the things that's the most difficult to do in real estate is to get listings. So we're going to be putting an event together. It's still kind of up in the air where and when, but do you want to mention anything about that and what we're going to be putting together?
Well, at Insured Title Agency, we believe in education. So we want to give back to our partner community, both real estate agents and other real estate services entrepreneurs. So we like to bring together what we call a brain trust, leading experts in each sort of part of the home services business to share their secrets of success. And as Brandon was saying, when you make yourself better or have a goal towards improving yourself, it improves not only your business, it improves your community. And Insured Title Agency has always believed in education. So we are looking to put together a seminar. It's going to have best practices for how to win the listing, letting you know what kind of loan opportunities are out there from one of our leading mortgage partners. And from the title aspect of what we see so much with title is that one little mistake can spiral into something that becomes a huge problem in the future. So especially if you are a new real estate agent, if you're trying to do it on your own, there's a lot of nuance to title where it seems like it's the least important piece, but it could end up being the most important piece. Making sure that along that lines of fraud, is this the correct seller? This person is selling to me, I want to buy from him or her. But is this the person? Is this the person who has all of the rights to this property? Is it owned by a company? Is it owned by an estate or in a trust? Is it a married couple but one person has passed away? All of these things, we help you through the transaction to ensure that every person who needs to sign signs, everything is done correctly, deeds are written and recorded correctly, so that you do not have a headache or a hassle in the future, because eventually a buyer will become seller. And you don't want to have a problem lingering from years, 10 years, however many years ago when you purchased the property that then affects your sale in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jennie Restrepo can help you with those things here in Tampa Bay. And, the market in general, too, we just had a federal rate hike for the first one in a long time. How's that going to affect things? It'll slow it a little bit, potentially in other markets. But Tampa Bay is one of the hottest real estate markets in the nation, in America. And it's, a great place for people to be relocating to. We're still seeing that blue state to red migration. The challenge is, and so many people already know this and see this, is getting listings. It's having the listing side of the deal, because then, for every listing you get, you've got a lot of buyers looking to buy, depending on the price point, et cetera. So the differentiating factor there, what is that for most people, right? That's what it comes down to be.
Well, if you're looking to sell and you're trying to decide what real estate agent you'd like to work with, I think that you want to say, okay, well, what do you offer me? So if they offer, well, I can list it for you and I can market it for you and I can have an open house. Okay, those are sort of the basics. So if you want to have that kind of high level experience, you want to ask the agent, well, what else can you do for me? Partners with Insured Title Agency can offer you a new listing service, which is basically everything that title does in a transaction. Typically, once you go under contract, we will start that service at listing. So the minute that you have that listing, then we will get to work on everything, because if there is a title issue, if there is a lien or something that needs to be corrected, oftentimes it's easy to correct it, but we're not in control of how fast the county or the city will help us remedy it. So that's something that's outside of all of our control, including the homeowner.
Yep.
And so you want to be ahead of these things instead of behind the 8 ball, because once you have a contract signed, the clock is ticking.
Yep.
We want to help you, sellers and their agents, get things going as fast as possible. So if you're working with Insured Title Agency, send us your listing contract. We will get going. If you're going to a listing appointment, reach out to us. We can help give you a property profile for that seller. We can look at how is the title held, so that if it is a trust or if it is a company, we can give you that language to make sure that you're talking to the seller about that. Hey, thanks for meeting with me. I see that this is owned by a company. Are you the only person on the company? It shows that you're a proactive real estate agent and that you're working with trusted partners that go above and beyond what the basic expectations are.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, good stuff. Check her out online, insured_title.com.
Insured-title.
Insured, okay.
Title.
Dash title. I had an underscore on my paper. If it's on the paper like Ron Burgundy, he reads it, right?
That's okay.
Insured-title.com. Okay.
Yes.
And thanks so much, Jenny. Appreciate you.
Thanks
They
for
can find
having
you
me again.
online as well, social media.
Yes,
all the good
Insured
stuff.
Title on Facebook, Insured Title Agency on Instagram.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right,
See you
coming
there.
up as well, we got our feel-good story of the day. Chicago businessman is giving away $1 million in free gas. Pretty cool story out of Chicago. And also Dr. John Bunnell, Gulfside Healthcare Services, coming up right here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com. Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment Certified Real Estate Team, Keller Williams Luxury Division, and also Keller Williams Commercial. Keep us in mind for your commercial deals, vacant land deals. We'd love to help you with that as well. Reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. We take any of your questions off air, 813-917-1894, and then we address those questions on air. We got a hot listing here at 14121 7th Street in Dade City. This is a restaurant that we've got up in Dade City, downtown. You got street parking, got a couple of lots right behind you, so plenty of parking. 1 bedroom, 1 bath apartment in this beautiful building. The restaurant, you've got downstairs is set up kind of like a cafeteria slash just a standard kind of restaurant. Upstairs you got the banquet seating, so beautiful round tables. All of the furniture and equipment conveys 141 7th Street in Dade City. Who do you know that may be looking for an excellent investment opportunity, here we go. We got an established restaurant since 1990, downtown Dade City, 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. The sale includes the furniture and equipment. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay, and you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
All I've got's love for Love City.
All right, we got Dr. John Bunnell joining us on the program here. Gulfside Healthcare Services. Hey, Doc, how are you today?
Hey, sir, I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, excellent. My pleasure. And looking forward to talking a little bit about what services you offer over there at Gulfside Hospice, Gulfside Healthcare Services. So Dr. Bunnell is one of the physicians at Gulfside Hospice. Give us an overview of what hospice is and what you provide for patients.
Okay. Yes, sir. We got, with Gulfside, we actually have several branches. Hospice is probably a major part of it. There's also a couple things, there's palliative care and home health, but I am with the hospice part of it. And, I know it's a heavy topic, but when the time is right, I think it is just a wonderful service. So hospice is meant for anybody who has a terminal prognosis, which basically means a life expectancy of 6 months or less. So this is misunderstood. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. Over the years, I've experienced it with families of patients traversing the end of life, and also even my family, where people would. Their general sense would be that it was just for the last few days or maybe even hours. And I think that's a very important piece of it, where just understanding that, no, this is for the months leading up to the end. There's a lot of services that we can provide, lots of help that we can provide patients and families as they traverse those months. Basically, that's who it's for. We provide such a number of things, medicines that apply to the general diagnoses that is leading to that poor prognosis, and also medicines for comfort, whether it be pain medicine or medicines for anxiety, or people are struggling to breathe, or whatever it may be, nausea. We cover all those medicines, and we are professionals at managing them. So, our mission is to help patients and families we would consider a unit. So we're helping both of those that parts of that unit, and our mission would be to give them the best quality time we can, to help them have the best quality time they can with however long they may have. And also that whenever that time may come that they would be passing away, that would be a peaceful, dignified, and comfortable time as well. So this is our mission, and I think it's something very valuable for the community when the time is right.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when my grandma passed, and it was hospice was brought in. I didn't really know. I was younger, a child at that time, or early teenager maybe. And yeah, it was it was like, wow, this is an interesting service. I kind of thought about it, but didn't really know much behind the scenes. We're talking with Dr. John Bunnell here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. He's representing Gulfside.org. The website is Gulfside.org, and he's one of the physicians at Gulfside Hospice. And they do have 3 branches. So with their business line, they've got the hospice, palliative care, home health care as well. They also have volunteers, a need for volunteers because they are a nonprofit, and they also have an opportunity for donations at thrift stores, multiple thrift stores throughout the area as well. So we're going to bring Dr. Bunnell back on the other side of this break. We're going into a quick break here, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about hospice and what Gulfside Healthcare can offer for you and your family. They have home health care, palliative care, hospice, and much more here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So we're taking a quick break. Coming back with Dr. Bunnell from Gulfside Healthcare Services. And our feel-good story of the day, Chicago businessman is giving away $1 million in free gas. We'll be right back.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what?
Okay. So, John, you don't have any kind of thing you can put up there whenever the guy's
Not for
talking?
him, I didn't know.
Okay. Maybe even the website or something? Just put the
I can do the
website up.
website, I guess.
Yeah, it's just much better than me just piddling around or, looking at my phone and stuff.
Okay, we've reset here, so let me know when you want to continue.
All right, let's go ahead.
Ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we like to feature our real estate listings live on air and help our sellers profit more and sell faster utilizing our innovation with radio, TV, and internet marketing. We've got some properties here in Tampa Bay. This is a property, vacant land. We got 1324 Hicks Road, 1324 Hicks Road right here in Tampa Bay. We've got about a dozen vacant land listings as well. A lot of times people are frustrated with the inventory for single-family homes, townhomes, or condos. So it might be a good opportunity to start looking at land. This one's over 3 acres. We've got this listed in Hudson, 13424 Hicks Road in Hudson. Also, I've got a couple others coming up in Hudson, pocket listings, waterfront on the canals with bay access. But this one on Hicks Road is septic, electricity, and well available. Possible for commercial business with rezoning as well. So 13424 Hicks Road in Hudson, another one of our real estate listings right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. And we've got about 45 listings on our website as well, Platinum MVP Team. .kw.com. You can visit our website, platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, we're going back to the phone line here. Dr. John Bunnell on the Consumer Quarterback Show was just talking about hospice and kind of gave us an overview of what hospice is. And because a lot of people think of hospice as a place, but Gulfside's care for patients at home too. What role does the care centers play in hospice, doctor, and when would someone go in there?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. But like you said, a lot of people feel they have this sense that hospice is a building, and while we do have buildings, I would estimate at any given time probably 95% or more of our patients are either in their homes or assisted living or skilled nursing, not in our care centers. And I think that's a great thing because often people want to be home. They want to be home with their families, and we would do everything we can to help them there. The care centers are basically a hospital for hospice patients. I would consider them that. They don't look like a hospital, by the way. They look somewhat like a mansion. They are so very, very nice, and our facility in Zephyr Hills is just amazing. You feel like you're walking into a beautiful hotel, I would say. And there are hospitals, so we have people at home, and if they're in any kind of crisis, whatever it may be, it could be small, it could be big. They're not sure what to do. They have a phone number to call, and that phone number is to us when they're with us, and we have somebody to answer that phone 24 hours a day, and that person will direct that issue, whatever it is, to wherever it needs to go. Now, often it's a nurse on the other end of the line, and if she can navigate the problem, sometimes you can just navigate it over the phone. If it's too much for that, we will send a nurse to your home. We would send a nurse out there if necessary. This is available 24/7, 3 a.m. on Christmas Eve. We will send a nurse out there, and the nurse will try to navigate the issue out in the home, whatever the crisis is. And if she needs something or can't get the issue navigated, then one of the doctors is on at all times, 24/7. So there's a doctor on the other end of the line that nurse can call, and together we would try to navigate that problem. And if it is navigatable at home, we would do that. But if we're in a situation where we just can't manage these symptoms, or we're in some kind of crisis that can't be managed at home, this is when the care center comes into play. And we can get symptoms managed. We can get crises managed in the care center if necessary. So it is a really beautiful safety net where at all times, 24/7, hospice is a phone call away, and the crisis becomes managed. We will assist and get the crisis managed wherever it needs to be done. So I think that's a wonderful service, and can also provide a feeling of some stability and security for a family to know that service is there always. So it's very anxiety provoking for patients and families traversing that time in someone's life, and so just knowing that there's help, and that help can be there fairly quickly and be there to navigate the problem. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Dr. John Bunnell here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Gulfside Hospice, and website gulfside.org if you want to reach out and get in touch. But, a lot of times there's a family member that's kind of stuck in this position of playing doctor and nurse, et cetera. For a family member who's caring for a loved one, how do you know when it's the right time to start thinking about hospice? And are there specific signs that they could look for?
Yes. And it's a big job. Primary caregiving, families trying to navigate this. It's a lot. It's hard work, and it amazes me. I think it's when I see these things, it speaks to people's. They're tough, and they're strong, and then they're there for their families often, and it's amazing to see. As far as when is it time, it's a very difficult thing. I think if a patient is allowing family to be around to hear what doctors are saying, you can kind of get a sense if a doctor is kind of leading to thinking about conversations about the end of life. I mean, that's a big sign. If you're hearing, your family doctors start to bring these topics up, that's a big sign. I think if a patient is starting to say things to their family like, I'm just tired, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to be in and out of the doctor's offices all the time and in and out of the hospital all the time. I feel like I'm not, maybe they're not feeling that they're getting any better, their quality of life is declining, and they're spending all of their time in the medical system, and they're starting to say that they don't want that anymore. If you're hearing things that are sort of alluding to that, or maybe even they're very frankly saying that, I think these are the signs to watch out for and to address. And, you can always explore patients' goals, what they want for the rest of their time. And often I think people don't want to be in and out of the hospital over it. A lot of times they just want to be comfortable. They want to be around their family. They want to have quality time. I think these are the things you can kind of look for, and it is quite difficult, obviously. But I hope that helps to some degree.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely it does. And, it has to be a hard conversation for someone to have with a family member. Any tips for having that difficult conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely, as I've had them, and I think that approaching the conversation, I think we as doctors do this also, especially hospice doctors. And we have an approach to that where we really want to ask patients, what do they feel? Where are they at with their disease process? How do they process it? And kind of explore their goals before we would just kind of come out. We would avoid some direct, maybe you should really think about hospice right now. I think that at times it is time for that, but it comes with a lot of delicate conversation. So I think that just asking a patient about their understanding of their disease process, and how they see the time ahead. I think some general conversations about the existence of hospice could be helpful, and you could see how they respond to that. But I think if you start to hear your loved one starting to say things like, I just don't want to be poked and prodded and put through all these tests anymore.
Right.
This is the perfect opportunity, because there's two pieces of hospice that makes somebody appropriate in my mind, and I think in all of our minds for hospice. And one is that two doctors have to feel that the patient's prognosis is 6 months or less, or at least has a likely outcome, because often people outlive that. Truly, sometimes people outlive that by many months. Sometimes people come onto hospice and they weren't doing good,
right?
And then they started to rally, and we had to let them go because we started to feel like, oh, well, their life expectancy at this point is now longer than 6 months. So sometimes people actually outlive it, come back to us later, and that can happen too.
Doc, I apologize. We're running out of our time here, coming into our next break. But what's the best place? How can people connect with you? Is there a phone number and website?
I'm quite wordy. I apologize. So, our website is Gulfside.org. I would start there. Our phone numbers are there, and I would start there. If you call us, you think you might need us even. You call us, and we can help navigate that path. And I'm sure of this.
Awesome. Well, hey, very good insights there into Gulfside Healthcare Services, Gulfside.org, and Gulfside Hospice. Thanks so much, Doctor. We appreciate you joining.
Thank you for having me, sir. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got Shane Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, going to be talking about alternative investment opportunities, diamonds, gold, precious metals at his awesome location right here in Pinellas County, St. Petersburg, Central Avenue. Coming up, Shane Socash, plus Feel Good Story of the Day, Chicago businessman giving away $1 million in free gas. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. Any of our listeners out there, we'll offer you a 2% listing for the first 3 callers that reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline, 813-917-1894. Also, a great opportunity for folks out there looking for a part-time gig, maybe a side hustle, is Keller Williams Real Estate School, powered by Kaplan. Reach out if you'd like more information on how we have a free real estate school for you, online class, get licensed, and start referring business in, or maybe make a new career. 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com for our syndicated radio and TV show on 80 outlets worldwide, consumerqb.com, or our real estate website at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And please follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, Getter, and check out our YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. Make it a great day.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. Give a shout out to Victor and his team over at Chad Irrigation. If you're looking to add sprinkler system to your real estate properties, you got to go with Victor and his team, Chad Irrigation, right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. They've done a great job on our real estate properties, and I trust them to work with you as well. And hot listing for this segment, 12631 Hobson Simmons Road. We got acreage for sale. Develop your dream home here in Tampa Bay. Multiple home sites. 12631 Hobson Simmons Road. This is Lithia, Florida. You got about 12 acres. He's offered about 10 and willing to break them down into 5-acre plots, 1-acre plots. 12631 Hobson Simmons Road, Lithia. We got a seller that's motivated here. You got water, sewer, power, cable available. Attention builders and developers. This is a prime opportunity to build right here in a beautiful country estate setting. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75. Tell me something good.
All right, so we got Chicago businessmen giving away $1 million in free gas. And Chicago gentleman's name, Willie Wilson, donated $200,000 in free gas across the city this past week. And this week, next week, he's donating $1 million. Gas stations in Chicago were already backed up as people were filling their tanks for free on Thursday. Every vehicle participating received $50 until all the money was exhausted. About 4,000 vehicles were expected to get their fill. And Wilson announced his second giveaway on March 24th. This time it was worth $1 million. And I love this quote at the end. He says, "I'm confident that with God's help and wisdom, we will get through these tough times. This is our second gas giveaway in 1 week. The need is great. I want to help. And if anybody can help somebody, pass along, and then this my living will not be in vain." So there's Chicago businessmen and our feel-good story of the day. All right, we're going to Shane Socash here on the phone line. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. Shane, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent. Good to hear. You know, we're hearing a lot about cobalt, jumping right into it. Precious metals, diamonds, gold, of course, collectibles, jewelry, and coins. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, of course. But you're hearing a lot about cobalt in the news lately.
Man, this is absolutely new to me. That's not a metal we deal in. Like, what are we hearing?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's about like the chips and computers and vehicles, and and it's funny too. A lot of these politicians they're coming out with the gas prices being high. They seem a bit curt and tone deaf. They're saying, get your electric vehicles. Just go out and buy an electric vehicle. The electric vehicles are $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and up.
Absolutely.
So it's they're a lot of tone deaf politicians. It seems, and plus they have to spend a lot of when you plug that car in, you're using 80% of fossil fuels anyway, so it's not like you're getting completely off the grid.
That's for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, just anyway, so I was just kind of thinking about that, and the precious metals. But folks can come visit you right there on Central Avenue, and you're a longtime friend of the program, and give us a little overview of what you offer there.
Well, so as we sit here, I was working on a CAD design for a client of mine, working up a platinum gents ring in the computer. It's something we do is computer animated design, so we're able to show you design something in a computer, show you exactly what it will look like before we make it, so that you're completely on the same page with the designer. We do a lot of that. 6 full-time jewelers here in our store, so we are doing a phenomenal amount of business right now.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. Pinellas County. And just an interesting time in the market. We're hearing a lot about inflation and a lot about the Federal Reserve printing of money, and which is, in my opinion, is license theft. I mean, it's just unbelievable what's happening with that. But people are people coming into you and expressing concerns about that?
Yesterday I had a gentleman come in and buy 100 gold American Eagles. It was just over $200,000. People have concerns with the printed dollar, with the dollar in general, the future of it. And it's, in his case, it's a small percentage of his net worth, but he's one in many. People are moving over at least some percentage of their wealth into, precious metals.
Yeah, precious metals. hearing a lot more and more about cryptocurrencies, people buying gold. What's the thing to consider? What are some of we always talk about the consumer advocate tips here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. What are some of the biggest consumer advocate tips that you would bring to this conversation?
I do have advice as far as that goes. So you always get the best bang for your buck if you're talking about gold, buying in 1 ounce increments. If you want to buy smaller than an ounce, you pay more per ounce to do that. So of course the price is less because the amount is less, but the price per ounce goes up when you buy in smaller increments than 1 ounce, and then pretty much it's the same also if you move into larger increments than 1 ounce. If you're looking for 10-ounce bars or kilo bars, it gets very expensive, but the per ounce price also goes up typically. So gravitate around the 1 ounce product if you're delving into gold.
Hey, that's great advice. I like that. What would 1 ounce of gold cost roughly right now?
So it depends on which type of product you buy. Let's see, like right now you're looking at about just over $2,000 for most of the gold products that we offer, and they're all about the same. The typical ones: the Gold American Kruger, the Gold South African Kruger, the Gold American Eagle, Gold Buffalo, Gold Canadian Maple Leaf. They're all bullion coins. Some of them you pay more up front, but you get more when you sell it back. So they're all about the same, so you don't have to be concerned about which of those you were to purchase. But around just over $2,000 for most of those products right now.
Yeah. Well, that's it's a good idea, something to think about. Keep that in your safety deposit box, your safe, wherever you store your valuables. And by the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Shane Socash here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and Shane is the owner of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin right here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Central Avenue in St. Petersburg. It's got a great location there in Pinellas County, and can help with all types of jewelry design. We just talked about his computer aided design. Also, diamonds are a big topic as well. What's the word on diamonds right now?
So diamond prices are going up, and I'm always cautious about don't run down and expect to get more for your diamond than you paid, because it really doesn't work that way. Diamonds typically are a retail consumer product. They do maintain residual value, but typically it's not an investment like hopefully gold would be. If gold goes up, you definitely get more for your gold. Diamonds, in general, what it's costing me to order in a 1-carat diamond for a client is rising. And if you do have a good GIA-certified diamond that you bought 10 years ago, it is possible to get more for it than you paid for it.
That's interesting.
Yep.
So speaking of that point, do you buy and sell as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We do a lot of buying of fine watches, diamonds, gemstones, jewelry, silver flatware, silver bullion, silver coins. We do a lot of buying of that type of stuff as well.
Excellent. Yeah, and it just seems like the market right now, people are kind of, they're navigating this, they're watching news, they're listening to talk radio, they're trying to figure out, what's the smart move right now. I mean, you look at what's happened. I've heard it said that up to 80% of all U.S. dollars in circulation currently, up to 80% of that is new dollars in circulation over the last 36 months, 24 to 36 months.
That is mind-blowing. I think you shared that with me the last time I was on, and it just, like, how can you have faith in our currency when that's the case?
Right. Yeah, a lot of people are losing faith, and I think they're setting us up to take us to a digital currency. That's something that's scary. Also, when you look at the one world type scenario, digital currency. Who knows how that affects Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, all those different types of coins. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, and one of the things that we know has been a good hedge against that, of course, is real estate. Obviously,
sure.
I'm biased towards that, real estate, but gold and to a certain extent, other precious metals and collectibles.
Yeah, that is true. Something that's been kind of a head scratcher is what Rolexes have done through the pandemic, and I just am blown away by what I'm paying for 10-year-old Submariner Rolex watches. I'm buying them today for more than I was selling them for 5 years ago.
Wow.
So it's just insanity.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's almost our time here, Shane. How can folks find you?
Yeah, on the corner of 40th Street and Central Avenue for the last many years, and looking into the future, we're going to be here a long time. So
excellent. All right, and you got social media as well. Find you online.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. David Reynolds JewelryandCoin.com as well.
Awesome. All right, Shane. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank Insured Title. I want to thank Dr. John Bunnell and Shane Socash here on the program. We always end our show by saying we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.